What's going on, everyone? Fearless Football Forecast at you again. It is week 2. We're giving away our 3 best bets of the week. Now, everyone, make sure to subscribe. We had some winners last week, particularly the Cowboys Jaguars Moneyline parlay that I tossed in there last week. We also went 5-0 on all of our bets that we made on our podcast from last week. So go check that out and make sure to click the link in the description below to get our week 2 podcast, which features our underdog of the week and 2 touchdown scores. But we might as well get things off. I'll let you introduce the one that's on the screen right now.
All right, so this is our bet of the week. It's going to be Lamar Jackson over 1.5 passing touchdowns, sitting at plus 155 currently. Just a touch into our podcast, we do the dog of the week. We have the Ravens as our dog of the week, and we both see them having a really good game offensively, especially against the Bengals. I just think that Lamar is going to be ready to show the world. You know, he's kind of getting a lot of slack from last week's performance. I think it's more rust than anything, and I think that he's going to be extremely motivated to ball out divisional rival, and he's just going to set the tone.
Yeah, I think that Lamar is going to be the difference in this game. He's coming in, didn't have many reps in the preseason, and this is a brand new offense. And not having his security blanket and Mark Andrews is definitely something that I think hurt him offensively last week. They also had to change the game plan a little bit with J.K. Dobbins going out. And due to Dobbins being out, I feel like they're going to be running the ball a little bit less, which opens more opportunities for Lamar to air it out. So that is why it is our bet of the week. I think Andrews gets one. I think OBJ gets one. If you want to do a little same game parlay with both those guys, go for it. But either way, I definitely see Lamar having 2 or 3 passing touchdowns in this matchup that should be pretty high scoring. Up next, I am going to go, since my parlay hit last week, I'm going to dive into another parlay this week. And the first leg is the Detroit Lions against the Seattle Seahawks. The second leg being the Buffalo Bills taking on the Raiders. This one's a little bit safer. Last week, my parlay was plus 150, but I want to continue to have these parlays keep hitting, so you guys keep riding these parlays. But I love the Detroit Lions in this spot. They are at home, coming in 10 days to prepare for the Seahawks, who had a later game last Sunday, got upset by the Rams, and now they're on the road in Detroit. First game that the Lions fans in years have really been excited for, knowing that this is a true contender. I expect that stadium to be electric. And Seattle's run defense just did not exist last week. Kyron Williams scored 2 touchdowns and Cam Akers had 1. I think that the combination of David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs is really going to make a difference in this matchup. Also, guys like Puka Nacua and Tutu Atwell were burning the secondary, so I can only imagine what Amon-Ra St. Brown does. The last thing I'll mention about this game before moving on to the next one is that both the tackles are out for the Seahawks, so I expect the Detroit Lions D-line to just eat up, and they're at minus 205, so that's why I added the Bills to kind of bring down the juice. After the absolutely horrible performance of Josh Allen, I expect them to bounce back. They'll be at home. I think they can just play it safe against this Raiders team that, even though I was on them last week, it was more the situation with them facing Russell Wilson and Sean Payton's first game back. But either way, I think this parlay is a smash play. And now we're going to go to Justin's play, which has a lot more plus money odds.
Yeah, so it kind of ties into your parlay a little bit. I'm going to go with an alternate receiving yards over for Dalton Kincaid at 50 yards. It's currently sitting at plus 280 on FanDuel. I really liked what I saw from Kincaid last week. You know, he didn't get an immense amount of targets or anything like that, but he caught all of them. He only had 26 yards, but 2 things. One, they were playing the Jets, which is one of the best defenses in the NFL. And 2, Josh Allen looked like me back there. So I think that Josh Allen is going to really snap this week. I think that he's going to be phenomenal for fantasy purposes, obviously. But I think that the Bills are going to win this game potentially by 14 points, quite honestly. That's the way I see it. I think this is going to be a win by murder. And I think that they're going to be passing the ball all over. They're going to want to kind of get their confidence, their swagger back. And I think Dalton Kincaid is going to be a big part of that. Like I said, he only had 26 receiving yards last week, but against a way, way better defense, the Raiders defense. They played well last week, but against a much inferior offense. I think that the Bills' offense is going to be phenomenal this week, and I think that Kincaid is going to be a really big part of that.
Yeah, I love it. I think that we're going to sweep this week. I feel like the brooms are going to come out. Also, like I mentioned at the beginning, make sure to subscribe because check out our podcast. We gave out 5 other picks. We had 2 suicide picks, 2 touchdown scores, and our dog of the week, which we already revealed to you, is the Baltimore Ravens. So quick recap, we have our bet of the week, which is Lamar passing touchdowns over 1.5. That's the one we agree on. And then I have Lions, Bills, parlay, and then Justin has Dalton Kincaid over 50 yards, alternate spread. Let's get those brooms out, and we'll see you all next week for week 3 best bets.